Alright, so welcome back to my little Hot Wheels world. I figured I'd make I guess kind of a journal entry, what my plans are with all this, kind of maybe why I'm doing it, you know, what purposes it serves, or whatever, I don't know. When I first started, like, putting this stuff together, I wanted to, believe it or not, I actually just wanted to enhance my Dungeons & Dragons game. So, I like to play a lot of Dungeons & Dragons by myself. I like to come up with creative ways to do it. And in this, I'm able to, for example, one of the things that I'm enjoying about this is you'll notice a lot of the icons are ones that I painted. Many that I didn't. You know, the circular bases, generally those I didn't paint. Like, I didn't paint that one, but I did paint that one. You know, I get to use those in more than just my regular run-of-the-mill D&D game sessions. And, you know, I get to enjoy them even more. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm bringing this into my Dungeons & Dragons world. For example, my brother and his friend, this is my brother's character. I forget what his name is, but it's one that I've painted. I painted all of these. But at any rate, they're at a point in their adventure where I am going to introduce, for pretty interesting reasons and how I'm going to do it, I don't really want to get into all that to spoil it, but they're going to be transported into a realm that this is, you know, this is their challenge. They made a deal, and old Mahadi, another one that I painted, he's a Rakshasa, and he brokers the deals, you know, kind of like for your soul and all that stuff. So the characters made a deal, and they're going to be given the choice to play, and they'll play, of course, you know, I think. And at any rate, it's going to be kind of like, you know, like the structure of the game is going to be, you know, collect your treasure. Of course, they're dwarves. They love their gold. So they're going to drive around, and, you know, they're going to, basically, the characters are going to be given their car. I'm encouraging them to get their own cars and bring them over to the house for play session, but I have plenty to use, you know, that kind of thing. But as I said in one of my shorts, one of the really cool things is some of these. I'm going to turn one of these cars on. By the way, that makes a really good, what do they call them, a dice tower, where you can just roll your dice. I want to use, hopefully, this over here. I can't really... Again, I'm recording on my cell phone, so it is what it is. But this does a pretty good job at giving you a random number. You know, like that's your random number generator. But at any rate, I'm going to try to make use of that in various aspects of this. I got it all planned out in my head. I haven't really done any writing on it yet. I'm not even thinking about trying to do this for any kind of money. I don't care. I'm just having fun. And I hope other people can take what I'm doing here and kind of make their own fun. You know, with their friends, with their kids, whatever. So the dwarf, you know, is going to play the game, and he's going to be in control. My brother, or whoever's playing, is going to get their Hot Wheels cars. The more people, the merrier. That's why I want to have a bunch of these cars kicking around, because this gets really interesting when you've got 3 or 4 people driving their cars around, and like they're trying to each gather up coins, you know, because like if you crash, you tip your car over, it's going to cost, you know, a certain number, depending on what game we're playing, so much money to get your car flipped back over, or you're out. You know, there's going to be various penalties. There's traps, like if you hit the dragon's breath, you'll take damage, like, you know, there'll be assigned damage pool and all that stuff. I'm kind of getting pretty intricate with it. I want to make it as close to, I'm going to say D&D rules, but that kind of thing. Like, for instance, they're driving through here, and they bump into, I've got some of the Batman cars, and I think that's Mr. Freeze. If they hit that, they get hit with a cloud of gas, they got to stop for a minute or something, some kind of penalty. But if they make contact with one of the enemy cars, specifically, you know, there's specific cars that if they bump or whatever, they've got to do kind of like, I haven't really come up with the rules for this or how to actually mechanically operate it, but like a heads up or head-to-head, kind of maybe drag race or something with this or that. You know, maybe using one of the, over there, the launchers and designated cars. I don't know. I'll come up with the rules for that as I go along. But that's kind of the idea. And I think I'm going to make it so, at least in the story with my brother and his friend, where their characters are going to actually get experience points for how well they do, whether they pass or fail. You know, they're going to get to be able to keep the treasures. In fact, I think I thought up a pretty interesting rule, or should I say option, where if they get one of the, in here, you know, here or there, that's another one that I painted, by the way. You'll see there's items. There's always going to be one item that gives them a shot to spin the wheel. And if they get the wheel, there's actually a way to manipulate the wheel the way it spins. I'm not going to give it away, but if they get in that blue or yellow, they'll automatically win everything, winner take all. But, you know, if they get the certain magic item, they'll get a spin. So it's, you know, I might adjust that a little bit based on how fair it seems. But yeah, I guess that's kind of the purpose of this video. I don't think I'm gonna crunch it through Adobe. I'll probably just upload it as you know, straight off my phone. So, you know, love to have it. You know, if I don't know, if you guys have ideas, leave them in the comment section. You know, I'd like to hear what you guys' thoughts are. I'd like to see other people do this kind of thing. Truly, I mean, I'm not trying to sell you Hot Wheels and like toys and crap, but I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of fun. You get to express a lot of creativity. There's a little bit of a wow factor. And I welcome people to come play this with me. That's the honest truth. So at any rate, I hope you enjoy, and I hope I wasn't too rambly, babbly, and you know, have fun with some Hot Wheels, you know.